Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
Yo, what's cracking?
What's up?
Welcome to Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Morgan Colby. Got Rick Lemon right across from me. It is November 20th, 2019. Ever so closely inching towards the end of this wonderful season.
I feel like
slowly.
every middle show of our week.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep.
No, I feel like you get hyped the most.
Yeah, that's true. It's so true. Extra hyped. Extra hyped. Today we discuss Week 11 booms and busts, as well as some trade targets.
We're not doing trade targets.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just burped and then realized we weren't doing trade targets.
I told you last
as well as break down some episodes, some weekly matchups. I literally told myself take that out of the show notes, and I still didn't.
I said it too. I was like, yeah, I should take those out.
Week 11 booms and busts, as well as breaking down some weekly matchups. So before we get into our booms and busts, check out our website at thefantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the FFChamps on Twitter, at the Fantasy Champions on Instagram. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/thefantasychampions. Subscribe wherever you listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. Click the bell on YouTube for notifications, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends. Let's get right into the booms and busts. That was rapid. I'm not even sure people are going to understand what that was.
I didn't.
We're going to start with the QB position. Your mistake of your life and the absolute atrocity of starting one of our busts in this column. But you kept on your bench for one of the best bench plays of the week, Josh Allen. How does that feel?
It's even worse.
33.8 fantasy.
He had 33.8, but in our league he had 37 points because we do the touchdowns as an extra point.
5-point touchdowns.
Yeah. So
weird league.
That hurts a lot. Because that's a 34-point difference.
Yeah.
If I would have started him, things probably would have been different this week. And my season, because it was the battle for first place in our division. And
probably the league, too.
Might have been the league, and I lost it.
Too bad. Yeah, Josh Allen has been, we talked about it on our last show, the QB2.
Fantastic, but you should trade him.
Yeah, you should trade him. Well,
if you still do trades.
If you can still trade. Lamar Jackson had 33.5. I mean, the guy is absolutely friggin' crazy. He is matchup proof. He is infinite. He is Lamar Jackson. And he is... he literally could win your league.
Yeah.
Another league winner.
Jimmy G
had 31.
Loves playing against the Cardinals, I guess.
Yeah, dude, I did not expect him to score 30-plus again on the Arizona Cardinals for some reason.
So he has 16 touchdown passes this year.
Yeah.
Half of them are against the Cardinals.
That's so ridiculous. Oh, Jimmy G, you got to get better in other games. Am
I looking at this
if
list?
Jimmy G is playing, yes, you're looking at Jeff Driscoll.
27.5 fantasy points.
Yes. So Dak Prescott and Jeff Driscoll went at it, and Dak overcame him. 35-27 was the score.
Dak was able to overcome Jeff Driscoll.
31 fantasy points. This just goes to show you that Detroit offense, baby. Doesn't matter who's in.
I guess.
They're going to score.
I mean, last week Driscoll was in and they blew. So
yeah, that's true. Dak Prescott had 31 fantasy points. Once again, another 30-point game. He's been very good this season. Jeff Driscoll with 27. That was a little bit surprising and shocking. I don't know when Matt Stafford's coming back. I don't know what Jeff Driscoll's games look like, but I would not pick him up as start at all ever again. People are going to pick him up and be like, yes, new quarterback, baby, and then lose every game left because Jeff Driscoll got 5 points. We talked about Kyler Murray on the last episode. He had 26.7 fantasy points. Mr. Darnold had 26. Kirk Cousins with another 22-point game. Picture of consistency. Baker Mayfield with 21. Drew Brees with 21. Derek Carr with 20.
Derek Carr slowly been...
Yeah. He's been boosting things up. Now, Nick Foles had a cute day in a 12-team league. He was a starter.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Kind of.
Mr. Winston had 18.
Look
at Dwayne Haskins.
18 points.
What actually happened?
So I didn't get to say this last show. I wanted to bring it up. You were dissing on Haskins. Did you see the video of him cussing out the offensive line?
Yes.
He didn't cuss him out. He was like, "What can I do to help you guys?" And they were just laughing at him. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Their response was laughing in his face when he was saying, "What can I do to help you guys?" on the bench.
Why would they laugh at him?
Because they just have given up. The Redskins offense, I feel bad for Haskins. I know he hasn't been great, but he has given he's like the Josh Rosen of this year. He has been given no chance.
No.
0.0. The coaches don't know what they're doing. The offensive line thinks it's a joke. He doesn't have any receivers other than Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. He was 19 for 35, 54% a completion percentage.
It's not great.
14 yards, 6.1 yards an attempt, and 2 touchdowns
But
with 1 interception. So, I mean, the last 3 weeks taking away the Minnesota game, the last 2 weeks as a starter,
he hasn't been given a chance. Though,
he hasn't been given it. No, he's not in an offense that really worked. He got drafted by the owner. The coaching staff didn't want him.
I know.
No one wanted him. That's disrespectful, though. Like, you laugh at the kid, and it's like, dude.
I know it's very disrespectful.
You guys can. I know he's a rookie, but these people can burn in purgatory. in the purgatory that is losing at NFL games, and that's what they're going to be. That you could spend the rest of your career in Washington and never win. Have fun with that. Poor Dwayne Haskins, but he did have a decent fantasy week with 18.
Yeah, there you go.
Not
Haskins,
streamable.
there you go.
Not streamable at all. Let's talk about some busts. If you are still holding on to the sheer hope that Tom Brady is going to be a good fantasy quarterback, I told you.
Didn't you say that he might have had a good week though against Philly?
Yeah, well, Philly has a terrible pass defense.
Yeah,
so
but dude,
this makes me really nervous going with Dak in week 16.
Yeah, but it might just
In
be because
Philly.
the Patriots' offense just absolutely terrible.
Completely goes. Jared Goff had 6.
What a shock.
Tell us about your boy.
Deshaun Watson,
How many points did he have?
5.
Why?
In our league, he had 3.
I don't understand why.
Makes it even worse that, of course, in our league, Josh Allen had even more points. Deshaun Watson had even less.
I don't even know why he had even less. That makes no sense. I got to look at the numbers on that. That makes no sense.
Point adjustment? Stat adjustment?
Maybe. I know you go and look now. He has 5.
But yeah, he did not have a good game at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't all his fault. The offensive line for Houston is not good at all.
No.
They added Larry Tunsil, who it was supposed to be
Laramie Tunsil.
Okay, whatever. Larry, he deserves to be called Larry
together.
The way he's played.
Larry. You're disrespecting the man by calling him Larry.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
What if he likes to go by Larry? You just completely insulted the man.
But yeah, their offensive line was getting demolished. But there was a play that I wanted to show you.
Yeah.
Watson snapped the ball, and the whole left side of the offensive line, so the left tackle, left guard, and the center, not the center, the left tackle and left guard, they did not know that he snapped the ball, and they were just like they were just waiting. They stood up and looked around, and 2 of the Ravens players came shooting, and Deshaun Watson got crushed.
Dang.
That was happening like all game. Not quite that, but he was getting. It was a disaster.
It's a little bit surprising. You know what they'll do? They'll go and add Trent Williams in the offseason.
I know they should. More of the story: Deshaun Watson is not matchup proof.
Yeah, that's what
we should have known before.
That's what I'm trying to realize. I thought he might be the QB1 with the Mahomes injury. Lamar Jackson literally went friggin' ham this year.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the QB1." Yeah, sure, why not? He's literally okay. I'm gonna stop.
You were about to get.
I was going to get
super
let
hyped.
on. I love Lamar Jackson. He is so not unlikable. I listen to his press conferences and he gets me so hyped. He's just like he's a good egg. Patrick Mahomes is a freaking jerk. I'm just kidding, bro.
Wow.
I don't like the Chiefs because maybe I don't like Patrick Mahomes because he's on the Chiefs. But I'm not a huge fan of just that whole situation because, Travis Kelce pisses me off the most. I like him for fantasy, don't get me wrong, but he's a complete and utter tool bag. Yeah. Him and Mahomes together just are
that's
a complete
that confuses
toolbox.
me is Mahomes isn't really a tool bag.
He's a tool bag, dude.
No, he's not. Have you heard him in a press conference? He's never.
He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you just because his voice is weird doesn't make you a tool bag. Come on, dude. That's bullying.
Oh, dude. I keep insulting NFL players. We should stick to just insulting Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think there was any more busts.
I think the biggest bust this week was Brian Hoyer.
We didn't mention Carson Wentz. He had 12 points.
Against New England, though. Wentz has not been a good fantasy option this season.
You know who keeps getting 0.5 fantasy points every week? Robert Griffin. He comes in
clutch.
Let's move on to running backs. And once again, I just keep getting ghosted by fantasy pros.
Oh, I got ghosted this time, too.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's going on.
You got to... Okay, I know how to fix this, though. You have to refresh it.
Literally live on the show. We are going through troubleshooting.
No, here's what happens when this chokes.
Me, dude.
Yeah. You got you then back out of it all. Oh, what the heck? This was working for me last week,
dude. Don't even start.
It's too late. I wish this video would be sponsored by Fantasy Pros so we could roast them. I guess we can roast them either way.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me fix this. I guarantee you.
Technical difficulties.
I guarantee you, it's not going to do this. It's literally not going to do this when I go to a different browser.
Yeah, type it in Google.
He's like, type it in Google.
Type in.
Hold on.
Best players in fantasy.
We want to talk. We really want to talk about some wide receivers. Here it is. Fixed it. Nope, still broken. Fantasy Pros, you freaking liars. Oh, fixed it. Never mind. All right, let's talk about some wide receivers. Once again. I don't even know where my phone is, boss.
Dude, what does that matter? You got it up, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, man.
Yeah, this is ugly.
This is a disaster. I'm trying to fix... Look, last week, I was able to refresh it, and I had it up. I don't know what's going on right now.
Everyone just clicked out of this episode. We're utterly screwed.
Okay, you know what? I got this. I got this.
We love you. Yeah, no, I'm about to go elsewhere.
Just go elsewhere, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry if the numbers are a little... I think they're going to be totally...
We should have told people to skip. I know who the number one running back was this week.
If you were listening 20 minutes ago, please...
It's Christian McCaffrey, 24 points.
Stop. All right, so, yes, Christian McCaffrey, 24 fantasy points. I'm telling you right now, this has been one freaking ugly year for running backs, and I don't know why. I'm convinced of that.
The number one running back with 24 points.
Very, very gross.
That is pretty gross.
And I've been trying to figure out why it's been very gross. I think it's just because they're going more committee, but at the same time, it's like McCaffrey and Cook are good. Everyone else isn't. But anyway, 24 points from McCaffrey, 22 fantasy points from Mark Ingram, 48 total rushing yards, but 3 receptions for 37 yards and 2 touchdowns. So good for you, Mark Ingram. The number 3 guy was Girls. Todd freaking Gurley. Is he back? Maybe.
I mean, we'll see.
Schedule is not that hard.
And he got...
I told you. I don't know if I told you on the pod this, but I told you that if there was going to be a Todd Gurley breakout, I felt like it was going to happen in the second half.
I think you said that in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
On the pod. So...
Like they wouldn't...
They'd go easy in the first half, and then they'd start losing and be like, okay, enough of
this. Let's get Todd Gurley involved. Yeah, how many touches? 25?
28.
28, wow. He didn't really do well on the ground. I think it was 3.9 yards a carry.
Yeah, he had 25 carries for, I think, 96
But I guess that doesn't matter when you had like 110 all-purpose yards. So Todd Gurley with 18 fantasy points. We had Alvin Kamara with 18. Zeke with 18.
It's the big names.
So, yeah, we got some big names. That was like the top 5 from last year except for Mark.
Yeah. Marlon Mack
had 16 before
he got
getting
injured,
hurt.
Yeah.
He would have had a monster game if he didn't get hurt. Joe Mixon had 16 again. So the third straight week that Joe Mixon has showed some success. He had 15 bye week, 16. So Joe Mixon is a little bit back here.
Yeah.
He might not suck. We'll see. I want to see as the season goes along.
So
Pittsburgh, New York, Cleveland, and then New England and Miami. So, I mean, Week 16 has a good match, but against New England, he's going to be toasted in Week 15.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. But everything else. So Le'Veon Bell is the next guy with 16.2. And now, I was so high on Bell, being like, his schedule is great and all this stuff.
You got so sweaty.
But you know what? He hasn't had 20 points yet in this stretch. But since his good matchups have started, Miami, New York, and Washington, 16, 15, 16. So he's guaranteed to get you 15 to 16.
See, you're still high on him. I don't understand.
I am.
He's had a very not good season. Yeah, he had like 20-point game to start the season against Buffalo.
A very not good season, but he's still going to finish as a low end RB1.
Are you sure about that?
I think.
Where is he right now?
He's 11.
I don't know.
And he plays the Raiders and the Bengals and the
16,
Dolphins.
14, 16. Man, that's
but
good.
okay. This year, that's a low end RB1.
Yeah, that's true. That's very.
Which
true.
is what he is.
You're very excited about Bell.
I'm not. I would be more if he was on my team.
Dalvin Cook had 14, so you might have been a little bit disappointed. I don't know how many rushes he had, but he had 26. 26
I think he was like
rushing
13
yards.
carries, 12 or 13 carries.
5 receptions for 31 yards, and then he had a rushing touchdown, so that saved his day. Dalvin Cook, he has such an easy schedule to end the season, man. If you have him, you were feeling real good. Darius Geis now.
Darius Geis, baby.
This will be the last guy we'll talk about, then we'll go to the bus. But Darius Geis had a terrible game on the ground. He only had 7 carries for 24 yards.
They didn't use him.
They didn't use him, but he had 1 catch for 45 yards and a touchdown.
Yep, that was it.
And the big thing about that play was that if you watch it, you show life, signs of life.
He looked really good. Like, he broke 2 guys. And
he looked really good on the run. So this is something to keep your eye on, because if they start saying, oh, we want to go with the young legs instead of Adrian Peterson's 100 million mile legs, then we'll roll with Darius Geis. But I'm curious to see how he goes the rest of the season, because if he does what he did on that one play, he could actually be very good. And then the only other guy that I would mention is probably Mr. Jacobs, Josh Jacobs, with 11 fantasy points, 111 yards, no touchdowns. So he has been relatively good. Yeah. He's been a top 6, top 7 running back for, I would say, the last 5 weeks or 6 weeks. Let's talk about some busts, some big busts. Devin Singletary had 8 points, 75 yards. He caught 1 ball for 4 yards. I don't know how many touches he had.
I think he only had like 15.
Yeah, so Singletary not doing what you would hope against Miami. An explosive back like Devin Singletary should not be getting 8 points against Miami.
Well, I mean, if he would have had more touches, because I know 8 points isn't good, but 14 carries for 85 yards.
Gore's coming to life.
Gosh. They just threw the ball a lot that game. That's why Josh Allen went off.
This was, now, a lot of people were really, really excited about this game against New England for Miles Sanders, and I don't know why.
Because Jordan Howard was out.
But you should have known.
But it's still New England.
You should have known. Yep. He had 5 fantasy points. If you started him, you were like, oh, I thought Jordan Howard's going to be out. He was going to have a good game. Since when? The only running back that has had a good game against New England. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I lied. No one.
Mark Ingram?
I don't think Mark Ingram had a good game.
I think he had a touchdown.
Oh, he did?
I think so.
Not that that's a good game for...
Yeah.
Really.
Well, this year.
I want to see how Zeke does against New England next week. That'll get me real sweaty. Man, I'm screwed. If I start Dak and Zeke...
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck again. Oh, boy.
Well, that's an off-air question. I was going to say who you're playing in our league.
Yeah, I'll tell
off-air question.
Yeah, off-air question. Then you have Sony with 5.
Ugh, that's gross.
Yeah, very gross. There was... and then, okay, so
David
this was...
Montgomery had 5, too. He's
This was one of these... two. I just want to mention 2 more players. This guy was like one of the starts of... not starts of the week. I think we actually told people to sit him, but I think a lot of people started him because they needed to. Ronald Jones... Yeah. He had 6 touches in the game. After coming off saying, oh, we're going to use him more in the passing game, they passed it to him twice. So I don't know what
I hate the Bucs,
don't know what the Bucs are doing right now. They didn't get a single ball to Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. Don't know. New Orleans.
So it was a tough matchup.
It was a tough matchup. But Ronald Jones completely busted. 2 fantasy points. That 18-point game means nothing now. I'm going to think that there's going to be a lot of teams this week that drop Ronald Jones.
I was going to say, if you can I would buy low if you can.
Yeah, if you even trade. But I also would say wait until after. But instead of buying right now, don't let the owner be like, oh, unless you have your bye week and then your trade deadline.
I made a trade before the week.
Yeah.
To get Ronald Jones, and I'm an idiot because I gave up a lot for him.
Yeah.
And then he had 2 points.
You clown.
I gave up $100 in waiver budget and Tyrell Williams.
In what league?
It's a sleeper league, just a random the league that I entered in halfway.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I didn't even see that trade.
Yeah.
So Ronald Jones had 2 points, and then the other guy that I wanted to mention is a guy that you started against Carolina, Brian Hill.
Yeah, that was
a terrible game. Let's talk about some wide receiver breakouts. Johnny Brown had a 30-point game. It's been up and down. It's been a roller coaster. You've been riding the roller coaster of John Brown.
So has it been a roller
10,
coaster?
7, 9, 10, 16, 7, 9, 10, 30.
He hasn't had one game below 7, which for a wide receiver.
I mean, I would say based on our bust percentage that we calculate at the end of the year,
it's under 10, right?
It's under 10. So I would say that he has busted. Oh, how many games has he played? 10, 11? No, I played 10. So he busts 40% of the time. So, I mean, the busts aren't bad. They're okay.
Yeah, but like if you're gonna have bust, you might as well have 8 points.
If you want to round up to 10 on 2 of those, then it's only 20% of the time. But to me, I think John Brown has been very good this year. When Josh Allen is playing well and they're facing a good matchup, he's good. He's getting the targets. I was trying
so hard to trade for John Brown too in our league.
Who asked John?
I think it was John.
Yeah. GG. Anyway, so John Brown, he's been very good. He had 9 receptions, 30 fantasy points. If you have him, he's kind of one of those. He's kind of one of those sneaky little wide receiver 2s that will probably end up in the top. Maybe 15.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we have Chark, 26 fantasy points. What a monster.
Love them, man.
8 receptions, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then you saw Calvin Ridley. This is true monsterness, though. Calvin Ridley had 143 yards and 1 touchdown. And he had 24 fantasy points. Like those other 2 guys kind of needed the 2 touchdowns. I mean, John Brown didn't, but DJ Chark needed his 2 touchdowns to get him in 26.
But Chark still had 8 catches for like 100 yards.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's good. But Calvin Ridley had 24 fantasy points. Michael freaking Thomas, dude, every single week.
He's on this list every week.
He is on this with the booms every single week. 17, 13, 13, 14, 35, 12, 17, 21, 21, 21.
Holy
He is the wide receiver 1 this year, and I didn't think paying a man, I don't even know how much he got paid, forgot.
Most in the league, right?
Yeah, most in the league, highest paid receiver, and he's been living up to it. I'm fully in on Michael Thomas. I wish I could trade for him, but he's totally holding on to it. Yeah. We had Stefan Diggs finally make a return. Now, we were kind of throwing up in our mouths talking about maybe starting Stefan Diggs last week. We were like, maybe. Oh, it's gross, but maybe.
Yeah.
And he had 20 points.
But again, it's like, did you see why? He had like 2 catches the whole game, and then in the fourth quarter, he got like a 70-yard touchdown.
That's how Stefan Diggs is. That's a good thing.
That's so gross, though.
It is. It's gross, but that's how sometimes that's what he's an outside receiver. That's what outside receivers do.
Yeah, but even the good like Michael Thomas and Julio Jones are outside receivers.
Yeah, but Michael Thomas can play in the slot. Stefan Diggs can't.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, so Michael Gallup has been the last 2 weeks, I believe, have been very good for Michael Gallup. The connection is back for these two. Early in the season, game 1 against New York, he had 19 fantasy points, and then he went out against Washington, had 9, got hurt in that game. Didn't play against Miami, didn't play against New Orleans, then came back against Green Bay, had 20, and then fell off an absolute cliff for 2 straight games against the Jets and the Eagles. But after the bye, since then, he's had 10, 15, and 19. So, interesting little player. If he's available in your league, I would go snag him. And then I'll just mention a couple more guys. We had Parker with 17. We had Debo.
So
Debo Samuel's breaking out the second half of the season breakout.
We told you last week because George Kittle didn't play.
Yeah.
And Emmanuel Sanders didn't play. And they were playing against the Cardinals. If he would have had a bad week, I would have completely given up on Debo.
Yeah, he had 112 fantasy points 112.
Wow, what a game.
112
Talk about a league winner.
112 yards against Seattle and 134 yards against Arizona. Has not caught a touchdown in that stretch. He has 1 touchdown in the entire season. He caught that 1 touchdown in week 2 against Cincinnati. If he's having a second half of the season breakout, man, if he's on your waiver wire too, I would go out and snag that little guy. Outside of that, you did see Cortland Sutton have 16, but everyone else was generic. Some busts. Mike Evans.
Yep.
Now, I wish I said something about this, but last time Mike Evans played New Orleans, he had 0. So I guess it's an upgrade.
It is, yeah.
A little bit of an upgrade. You had Christian Kirk after his 35-point game. We told you not to start him.
Yeah, he
ends up on the bus list.
Doesn't do good against San Francisco.
San Francisco, he had 7 fantasy points. Once again, Cooper Kupp rips the soul right out of people.
Everybody thought he was going to have a monster week this week, too.
Yeah. He has...
Because Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks did not play this week.
He was so good through the first 5 games of the season. 8 against Carolina, 15, 27, 22, 22, and then after week 5, these are the totals after week 5. 3, 8, 31, bye week, it looks like he didn't play against Pittsburgh, but no, he just didn't catch a ball. 0 fantasy points against Pittsburgh, and then against Chicago, he had 6. So over this stretch, he's literally been terrible.
The whole Rams offense has been terrible too,
true.
except for Gurley had a decent week, but
he only got targeted 3 times in that game. That's
this week.
Yeah.
And Gerald Everett didn't have a good week either. Gerald Everett only had 2 points.
Yeah, where was Jared Goff throwing the football?
To anyone? Did he? Well, he only had 5 fantasy points, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow, I hate Jared Goff this year.
And then Amari Cooper. Finally, actually, you would think that Amari Cooper would have we've been waiting for this Amari Cooper all season, and he's been a monster this year. He's been very good. He's had 1 bust game the entire season. This week, he enters into his 2nd bust game, getting 5 points against Detroit.
Ugh.
That's so gross. Why did you get 5 points against Detroit, buddy? That's so
that
not
is
good.
pretty gross, yeah.
And then we have Emmanuel Sanders, who did play this week.
Oh, so he did play, okay.
Yeah,
did he
had a
get
bust.
re-injured?
I don't know.
Because I saw something saying that he was injured.
Sanders' ribs caught 3 of 5 targets Sunday for 33 yards. So he's playing through a rib cartilage injury. But he was visibly limited, is what the
Okay, so yeah, he
report
didn't
says.
play a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess if you started him, it's a bust. If a guy's injured that badly, you have to follow along with that and understand that you shouldn't be starting him. I don't believe we talked about on the running backs really quick, David Johnson, who didn't even get a touch. He was active and didn't get a touch. We talked about what to do with him now. We can't start him anymore.
I said my panic meter last week was at like 9.
Yeah.
And if he had another bad week, it would be through the
I don't
roof.
even know that it's a bad week. He didn't touch the ball.
Yeah, that's a bad week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm saying like maybe they just went into the game, said we're going to activate him, but he's not ready to go. Like it was like a fake, like instead of making him inactive.
Like,
no, but that's very Cliff Kingsbury. He's like, oh, he's not going to play this week. David, you're not going to play this week, but we're going to make you active to make the other team think you're going to play. Like he's a clown. He's an absolute clown like that. Oh, gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, even before the game though, there was a report that said Kenyon Drake is becoming the starter.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have both. So
yeah, you do. But for people,
we told you last week, we said
for people who just have David Johnson, yeah,
like do not start him in your flex. Like
he's
him
a
on your
bench
bench. He's a bench player. Until he's able to. I actually think he's injured. I think as much as people say Kenyon Drake's the new star, I actually think David Johnson's hurt, and they're just covering whatever it is up, and they're using David Johnson's name to try to change the game plan a little bit. I don't know, to get people think that David Johnson's actually going to play it. I don't know. Cliff Kingsbury likes to play these stupid games.
Guess so.
He straight lies to the media, and it's like, dude, just shut the hell up. No one cares. Your team blows, and like you have a decent offense with a decent quarterback. Like, stop playing these games. Like, don't pretend to be Bill Belichick. Why don't you try to be Cliff Kingsbury and win a game?
Wow,
that was freaking crow, man. It's because I own David Johnson. That's probably why. Juju Smith-Schuster had a concussion, left the game early. He had 3 fantasy points, and then you, my friend, started Tyler Boyd.
Against Oakland, seemed like a good matchup. I had Devontae Adams on a bye.
Yep.
I needed a wide receiver. I didn't want to start Christian Kirk in San Francisco. Seemed logical that he could get me 9 to 10 points.
Yeah. Let's talk about some tight ends. The bona fide number 1. Now, I got to reassess my situation with Mark Andrews, because it looks like he's back to what he was doing before. I really don't know what to do with Mark Andrews, because there are just his bad weeks are awful.
So the problem is they still threw the ball to like multiple tight ends. They're gonna do that every week. So if he doesn't get a touchdown, I feel like he's pretty touchdown.
He had 4 targets, so that it would have been 9.5 fantasy points if he didn't catch a touchdown.
So that's still good,
Hopefully.
but
Well, no, you could
4
take the
targets
yards away on the touchdown too. So I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, it was gross. That's the big thing is like literally this year. Like I said, he had 20 and 21 in the first 2 games, targeted a lot. Then went against Kansas City, had 3. His other bust game was against Pittsburgh, where he had 7. His other bust game was against Seattle and New England, where he had 4.9 and 3. And now he had 20 and 15 again. So it's like against LA, do we see another bust? I just don't know. I don't know what to do with Mark Andrews anymore. I'm like, it's obvious that he's going to be good. I would just say start him and eat the 3 points. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's it. Rudolph, once again, 5 catches, 67 yards, a touchdown. He is the option without Adam Thielen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, without Thielen, he's going to be
He's going to be
a
the
good
guy.
start every week.
We have Ertz with 13. Cook had 10. Waller had 10.
Bro, we forgot about the number 1 guy.
Who's the number 1 guy?
Ryan Griffin.
Yo.
Ryan Griffin had 20
Let's
fantasy
get it.
points.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I totally just completely left you off the list. And Ross Dwelly. 19 fantasy points from Mr. Griffin. And then you had 15 from Ross Dwelly. So those 2 guys having really good weeks. Zach Ertz came back. Didn't catch a touchdown. 9 catches, though. Good game. Against the Patriots of all teams.
Yeah.
You want to notice, when you have a tough matchup, it's good for the tight end.
That's very weird.
It's because they don't literally the tight end is like, it's the 3rd or 4th option usually on the offense. So if you're reading the defense and they got everyone covered, you usually dump off to the tight end when you got no one else. Cameron Brate had 12 after 10 targets for 73 yards. Dallas Goedert caught another touchdown this week, 11 fantasy points. Dawson Knox, baby, 232 and a touchdown.
Wow.
And we had Waller, Cook with 10. Do we have any busts at tight end this week, or was it pretty?
If you consider
straight?
Ebron a bust still,
I know.
Gerald Everett had 2 points. Darren Fells, 2 points.
Jason Witten had 0. No, he had 4, I think.
So
Yeah.
other than that,
not
that
a
was
lot
about
not
it.
a lot of busts. All right. I guess we can move on because that'll be all that it is for booms and busts. Let's go into our weekly matchup breakdown. We have more time now because no more trade targets.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Maybe at some point we'll do a freaking section about the playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about these matchups. The first game we have here, I think it's a 45.5 point over-under, Colts at Texans. So Houston's defense has not been good this year.
Blown. Chunks.
Jacoby Brissett was another guy that I was on my potential.
So here's the problem.
Potential start list against Houston.
Which makes sense.
And it's a division matchup, so, it might be a game that he could actually perform well in. But I don't know. I don't know if
It's on the road in
Houston.
Thursday night football.
Oh, wow. Stay far away from Jacoby Brissett. Put a 10-foot
Watch he gets 50.
stick.
Thursday night football, he could do good, but he could also do terrible.
Don't lie to yourself.
Which is no, that's the problem with Thursday night football. You just don't know.
It's like
You really don't.
It's like throwing a dart at a dartboard.
And this
with
sucks
your
because
eyes
I have
closed.
Deshaun Watson. And it's like I still have to start because he's Deshaun Watson.
See, I feel like
But it's Thursday night.
the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks, like when I don't know if
That's
Baltimore,
true.
I don't know if Baltimore's played on Thursday night football, but
Wilson
if you
and
have like
Mahomes.
Dak, I would start safely on Thursday night against a good
And
matchup.
usually this year, Watson, I know 3
But if you're streaming quarterbacks, stay away from Thursday.
3 points is rideculous, but usually he has had a few bad games this year, and usually when he has a bad game, he follows it up with like a monster,
Yeah.
like 35-point week.
Yeah, we'll have to
So-
see. Deshaun Watson against Indy, it's a tough matchup, but you got to start him. He's Deshaun Watson. If Marlon Mack does not play in this game, which is assumed at this point.
Well, he broke his hand. So
yeah, he broke his hand. I would think unless they build a cast that has a cup and he can just
Yeah,
stick the ball in it. I guess I don't know if that is a thing. They're not going to play him.
totally legal.
Yeah. So we got Jonathan Williams against Houston. The rush defense has been bad. It is against. We got reports that they're going to split with Jordan Wilkins. I don't know what Wilkins' injury situation is. At this point, I'm not sure. Like if I had to start one,
What if Wilkins is out?
Jonathan Williams is a start.
Okay.
I don't like the situation that is presented if Jordan Wilkins is in.
I hate that.
I would say don't start anyone. If Wilkins is in, don't start anyone. If Wilkins is out, start Jonathan Williams. And then on the other side, we have Hyde and Duke. You can discuss that.
I mean, pick your poison, I guess. I wouldn't start either, though.
Okay. Then we got D-Hop against Indy. So I got a Thursday night football game. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Hey.
We both do, bro.
I got myself some Nook to watch. We both do. All right, let's... I think, against, obviously you got to start DeAndre Hopkins. He's had, I think, 10 or 11 in the last 2 games. Mm-hmm. So he's not been a bust, but he's also not been Hopkins.
He's been like that all year, though.
So I'm waiting for that situation because he's been getting 12 targets a game. And last week, if they played like they were supposed to,
he was actually the only guy that did good
in the game. Week, no. But I'm like, if they played the way that they normally play with Nook getting friggin' 12 targets, they probably would have he would have caught a touchdown and had a monster day. But anyway, him against Indy is not a bad play. I think it's better play than it was last week.
Yep,
a little bit better. Do you like Kenny Stills or Kiki
No.
All right, yeah, good. We might see the return of T.Y. Hilton this week. I'm not sure. I think it's a short week.
It's possible, but because it's Thursday night.
But it's Thursday night, so you probably won't. If not, Zach Pascal against Houston's defense on Thursday Night Football. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
I'm not going to jump to do it.
Right.
Ebron is not a good matchup. And then I think Darren Fells has been a touchdown-dependent monster. He's the Ebron of this year. Next year, if he plays in the NFL again, because he's like 89 years old.
I think he's only 29, actually.
I think he's only 20.
Oh, I have no idea.
He's old. He's on the older side. I almost shouted out, "Okay, Google, how old is Darren Fells?" That is becoming a problem in my life. Google Home is not a sponsor for this podcast. But Darren Fells has been catching touchdowns like Eric Ebron, and
except this week when he had one catch for 10 years.
This week where he had
or something like that.
Years. So against interesting matchups, I would do it. This week, I would not start Darren Fells.
Okay.
So
I don't disagree.
Okay, let's move on to Broncos at Bills. 37-point over-under Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Bills have Mr. Josh Allen. The Broncos have Brandon Allen. So the battle of the Allens.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, I would say, is a start against Denver. Denver's defense has been very good this year. It's unfortunate that our offense completely blows all the time.
So you still start Josh Allen despite the tough matchup?
No, I don't want to start Josh Allen. I will sit him down and I will fold my hands and watch him get 30.
This week, I know it's a tough matchup, but
is it in Denver? I forgot.
I think it's home.
It's at home. So that's a good start.
I think it's in Buffalo. So I think you can play him with caution.
Yeah.
If you have a better matchup, then do that because Denver ranks 30 against quarterbacks so far this year.
Right.
But Cousins did get 25 against them this week. Against Denver, and he was at home too.
No, I got you.
So it's possible for Josh Allen to get 20 plus.
Yeah.
But it is a tough matchup, so if you want to go a different way, if you have a better option to go a different way, I would.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I like him this week. I would personally tell you to sit him. Denver's a tough defense, and Josh Allen is not really matchup dependent. I mean, you might be able to throw poop at the wall and hope it sticks, but I'm not
at
really
home though. And Kirk Cousins just got 25 against him. So I know it's not a pretty matchup.
Yeah, I just don't. I think Kirk Cousins is a better passer than Josh Allen is. Josh Allen just runs it a lot.
Kirk Cousins isn't that great of a passer.
Wow. All right, buddy.
He's okay.
You're the one that liked Kirk Cousins in the offseason.
I'm just saying he's not like I'm not treating him like a top 5 passer in the league.
Josh Allen's a top 5 passer?
No, but they're not. Neither one of them is great. That's what I'm saying.
All right, whatever. You got Singletary against Denver. That's a tough matchup. I think Singletary right now is a play against good matchups and sit against bad matchups. And then I think John Brown, the connection between Allen and Brown has been very good, but I don't really like him against Denver, but if you have to start him because of a bye week, then feel free.
Yeah.
John Brown's got me sleepy. Philly. I
think you're just sleepy.
Philip Lindsay. the RB1 for the Denver Broncos. They're going in his direction now.
Royce Freeman is done. If you're going Royce Freeman.
Poor Royce Freeman. He didn't even get the chance. I mean, he got chances and he looked really good with his chances, but for some reason, it's just like everyone hates Royce Freeman. If you're just gonna go with Lindsey, just go with Lindsey. Don't string Freeman along and give him hope.
It sounds like you're.
I love Royce Freeman. Anyway, Philip Lindsay is a bad play against Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo ranks 18th against running backs, so it's not.
That's because of one game, though.
Oh,
I believe. I don't know. I might be lying.
It's in Buffalo. I don't think he's a bad play, but he's not.
Philip Lindsay in Buffalo
flex.
against Buffalo.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about that?
I don't feel good. I didn't say good.
All right. Flex option.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you to sit Philip
yeah.
Lindsay this week, but and then we got Cortland Sutton, probably a start.
Sutton's been a start every week, bro. Top 10 receiver.
And then we have Font and Knox. Knox had a good week last week against Denver.
And I'm not starting either.
And then Noah Font against the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I would not start either. We got
Giants of the Bears.
Giants of the Bears. Sorry, I was trying to
Sheesh,
scroll.
What is going on?
I was trying to scroll down, and my computer
falling
wasn't
asleep in your chair right now?
No, I was honestly getting scared because I tried to scroll down on my computer and nothing was happening, and I was like, "Oh, the whole computer just freeze. Great, we got to re-record. Awesome."
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened. Giants at Bears, 40-point over/under. I only say it so like angrily because it's happened before. You record a whole episode, then you got to do it the second time.
It has happened before.
It very much blows. Yeah, we got the Chicago Bears with Mitchell Trubisky. Now my question is, so Trubisky didn't have a what did he do this week? He had a poop week, right? He had a terrible week.
Trubisky?
Yeah. Did he crap his pants?
Oh yeah, he got benched.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did get benched. Congratulations. All right, he had like I think 20 something fantasy points the week before.
Did he?
Yeah. So I was like waiting for him to have another good week in a row, but no, he got benched. So he's done. So we have on the other side Daniel Jones. Do you like Daniel Jones at all in this game? I mean, he's been up and down.
Not really against.
He's a throw it at the wall, hope it sticks kind of guy. I'm not really sure what to do with him. I can't find the Giants on the sheet now. Great.
That's okay. I got you, bro.
Thanks. Help me out.
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
I'll do the Bears. You do the Giants.
Daniel Jones is not that great.
All right. David Montgomery facing the New York Giants. He does have an easy matchup. I won't lie to you. But every time he's like, oh, my God, he has an easy matchup. Let's get it. David Montgomery gets you 6 total fantasy points. I just don't like David. You know, I got super hype when he got drafted by the Bears because I was like, okay, he's going to get all the work. And now he is getting all the work, but the Bears just freaking suck. So it's not your fault, David. It's Matt Nagy's fault. So I'm going to say not. I don't know if I can start him on a week-to-week. I don't know if I can. Even if the matchup's good. I
don't think you can at this point.
He's good, but he's like, ugh. Makes me feel violated.
Yeah.
Continue.
For the Giants, it's obviously Shake and Bake Barkley, who is an obvious start against the Bears, who gave up 20 fantasy points this past week to Todd Gurley. Now, you know why you couldn't find it?
Why?
It's not here.
Why?
I don't know why. The Giants don't exist as a team, I guess, on this list.
Idiots. Anyway.
Good thing it's pretty easy to know who the Giants running back is.
Yeah. Allen Robinson has been up and down. He's been the emotional roller coaster that you don't want to ride. I mentioned roller coasters a lot today. Don't know why. But Allen Robinson.
You want to go to a theme park or something?
Yeah, I guess so. Allen Robinson he's been relatively decent. Do you like him against the Giants? I mean, this is the best matchup you're going to get. If you have to start
No,
him.
because I don't know who the quarterback is.
That's very true. Yeah. What happened to Trey Burton? Because this thing says that this guy named Bruce Broniker. I don't even know if that's right. No, it's Ben Broniker. Sorry, Ben Broniker is the tight end for the Bears. I'm not starting anybody on that team. Give me the wide receiver. Sterling Shepard might not play this week.
So he was a full participant in practice on Monday. So I don't know. He could play. If he plays, would you start Sterling Shepard or Darius Slayton or Golden Tate, any of those guys against the Bears?
The Bears' defense has been worse this year.
See, now that there's so many guys,
their pass defense has been better, but their rush defense has been bad.
Golden Tate in a given week can have a good week, and Sterling Shepard in a given week can have a good week. But having all three of those guys in the field,
yeah. If Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard are back, then Darius Slayton's worthless, and I think that. I think
there's a chance Evan Ingram might play
if Sterling Shepard plays, then I think you got to go with Sterling Shepard. But it just depends. Their tight end is Evan Ingram, and I don't know if Ingram's going to play this week. We'll see what happens.
He said,
"Give me the news."
On Monday, he said that there's a possibility he'll be available. So
okay, all right, Evan. He tweeted that out on his Twitter. I might be available, people.
Yeah, so take that as
Steelers at Bengals. So we got Mason Rudolph and Ryan Finley. Oh man, I yawned. Ryan Finley and Mason Rudolph both playing in this game, and they are both nowhere near your starting. If you were starting Mason Rudolph and Ryan Finley, you are screwed.
Yeah. This game right here, Steelers at Bengals, is definitely a game I will be watching on Sunday.
Or not. If James Conner plays, he's a go. Joe Mixon has been very
good
a go. Against Pittsburgh. It's tough, but just ride him until the storm is over.
Yeah.
Anybody else on Pittsburgh you want to start?
No. Well, James Washington, if
Washington against Cincinnati is a good matchup. I would start him,
especially if Juju.
If Juju's in,
Johnson.
You obviously got to start him. Deontay Johnson, I don't think is going to play. So I think either one.
If both those guys are out, I think James Washington is a good play.
I think whoever plays at wide receiver this week is a good play for Pittsburgh because it is Cincinnati. But we'll see what happens. Vance McDonald against Cincinnati.
He could be a good play if Juju and Deontay Johnson.
What did he have this week? 7 points.
I think he had like 5.
And then we got Tyler Boyd, who has stolen your soul.
I'm about to I'm at the point where I'm going to drop him.
And then Alex Erickson on the other side. He's had some good games without Auden Tate in the game. He's like a slot receiver, but I don't know how much he'll be utilized, so I'm not really going to look at him as a starter. Boyd is burning you, and against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
And then Eifert, no. Let's talk about the Dolphins at the Browns, 44-point over-under. So every week, the Dolphins over-under gets a little bit higher.
I know, even though they did get destroyed this week.
Now, I was curious to see how many fantasy points that Mr. Fitzpatrick has put up.
I can pull that up
in the last few weeks, and I actually noticed, wow, he's been okay, except for this week where he threw 323 yards and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In the week before, he threw 169 yards and an interception and 0 touchdowns. So he has had one okay week. 26 fantasy points against the New York Jets. I don't think Ryan Fitzmagic is a good play or start at all. Baker against Miami, fantastic. Great streaming option. He had 23 points last week. Hopefully, he doesn't rip your heart out and stomp on it like he did earlier in the season. Nick Chubb is a start. Kareem Hunt, start, sit. What are you doing?
If you need a flex option, he's going to get you 8 to 12 points, which is what he's done in the last 2 games.
If he scores a touchdown, maybe 16.
And if he gets a touchdown, it goes up to 16. So, I think he's a start if you need him.
And then we haven't talked about Nick Chubb because he doesn't bust, but he also doesn't boom. He's like right in the middle. He's the guy no one talks about. He's been kind of a scary situation because it's not been looking good with Kareem Hunt in there. He's getting like 12, 11 points a week with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
So he's not the same guy that he was. Just keep an eye on that situation.
I'm curious what is So this is the thing though. He has been getting he had 9 points this week, but you know how many carries he had?
How many?
27. He had 27 carries.
All right,
your
Cleveland.
Faces. All right, Cleveland. So I wouldn't worry too much about Nick Chubb. The problem is in PPR leagues,
you almost had a nightmare.
He was having 4 catches a week.
That's almost like giving David Montgomery 31 carries. Oh wait,
before Nick Chubb in the beginning of the season, which was making him a top 5 back, he was getting 20 plus carries every week,
right.
And he was getting 3 or 4 catches.
Mm-hmm.
This past week he had 1 target for 0 receptions. So now that Kareem Hunt is there, it seems like it's taking
the targets are gone.
Yeah,
which makes him a low end.
In standard leagues, it doesn't change too much, but in half PPR,
and full PPR,
bit,
he's a low end RB1.
Yeah.
And then we got on the other side, Kalen Ballage. Now, Kalen Ballage is about to break some records on Sunday.
Okay, what records?
He could become the first running back in NFL history to have 60-plus rushing attempts with under 2 yards of carry.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's terrible.
He's so bad. Wow. That's gross.
That's disgusting.
It's safe to say that no one in the Miami Dolphins team is startable in fantasy football besides Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about the Browns. Odell, well, actually, do you like Devontae Parker against Cleveland?
I don't like it that much, but if
He
you
had,
need him.
what is it, 17 fantasy points this week?
Did he have 17 points?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, then yeah, sure, I'd start him then.
And then he's been slow. He's been having the breakout year people have been waiting for from Devontae Parker. I think he's going to end the season as a wide receiver too, so he's been relatively decent. But anyway, you have Odell Beckham, who's been just not good
all season.
Devontae Parker has been better than Odell Beckham this year in fantasy, which is gross.
Although at least, so again, Odell, you know what Odell's last few weeks?
What?
13, 7, 10, 8, 8. So he's like, it's not good, but it's like, yeah, he's still like,
he's not killing you.
Yeah, he's not killing you.
But he is killing you. How many targets did he get last week?
10.
Yeah, how week before?
12.
Okay, so they're getting it.
But the week before that, he had 6.
So if the Browns figure out how to move the ball,
but you know what? He had 10 targets this week for 4 catches.
Yeah.
And when he had 12 targets, he had 5 catches. So he's getting targets, but
that's so gross. The real wide receiver one in in Cleveland is Jarvis Landry.
Yeah,
who has had some decent weeks in the last couple weeks. He's a slot receiver, and it looks like Baker likes to throw to the slot. So I would start Jarvis Landry against Miami. I would start Odell against Miami. And I like those two guys. Yeah. And then I don't start any of these tight ends.
Yeah.
So
if Njoku comes back,
no.
Yeah, I agree.
So that'll do it for our matchup breakdowns and booms and busts for week 11, and then looking into week 12 of the matchup breakdowns. Be sure to listen tomorrow as we break down more matchups, discuss our starts and sits for the week, and do all that fun stuff. Don't forget to check out our website at thefantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I think that's it, boss.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow, Fantasy Champs.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, and follow us on Twitter at TheFFChamps.